women, I've watched some of them suffer through some of these brutally painful experiences that they have to go through this, where they can't physically even move. Like they even
So
just
they
stand up and walk
say.
around causes a
Not.
tremendous amount.
Yeah, you're right.
I'd say absolutely go for it. If I can take a sick day because I got a sniffles, then why the fuck can't she take a day off because her whole body is revolting against her? I absolutely go for it. So I
And
fully support it. I think it's a
you
great
know
thing.
why God gave women yeast infections?
Mm.
So they know what it's like to live with an annoying cunt.
I'm not laughing at that.
I'm editing that right the fuck out, but I
Yes,
thought
you
you'd
are.
laugh.
um,
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I guess moderate. I don't know. Whatever.
yeah.
Hey, a few less days of them at work bitching's fine by me.
Now,
All they do is
Eric,
bitch about the period anyway. That's all they talk about.
that's it.
Yeah, my period. Why don't you fucking go home then? Well, none of that is true.
No, not at all.
I'm not even justifying that. I just cut that shit out when we're done talking.
Biggest news to hit the planet right now. This is the biggest news. I call absolute bullshit, but this is the biggest news.
Nothing is ever going to hit the planet. Sorry.
Well, Russia is officially said that they will be rolling out a coronavirus vaccine within 2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks. Wow, they've really upped their game. It went from December to October to 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And Vladimir Putin has stated that he gave his daughter the vaccine. And she is fine.
Does he mean he administered it to her, or he just gave her some? Like, here's some vaccine. Do with it what you will.
She has it in her system. That's as far as that's gonna go.
Along with way too much of his sperm, I'm sure.
Yeah, no denying that. So there's that. And this just goes to show, of all the places in the world to help produce this vaccine, a company in Brazil is going to be agreed to produce the vaccine.
And they're getting Leonardo DiCaprio to fund it.
I'm just
And
I just find that funny
considering
considering
it's going to be made from water from the firemen cleaning up the fires that they burned down their own fucking country to get Leonardo DiCaprio's money. Why are you dealing with Brazil, Russia? Well, because you're Russia. Fuck, that makes perfect sense that it's coming from Brazil. I'm sorry, I take that back. Of course it is.
Because he doesn't want anybody else to get it. And Brazil is the only one that's turned around and said, it doesn't exist. It's fine.
Someone needs to go and burn down Leonardo DiCaprio's house.
Fine with that.
This is nothing. Yeah, know what? I'm sticking with it. Fuck you, Leo.
So just huge news. And I love, and I mean this, I absolutely love the fact that the second this was announced, fuck it, I'm just going to say it as it is. My mother, of all people, she's like, did you hear there's hope now because Russia came out with a vaccine for it? And I looked at her and said, Mom, what? I said, no, they didn't. I just look at her. I go, what are you thinking? And she's like, well, they announced it. Yeah. Are they administering it around the world? Well, no. I said, have they done any form of testing? She's like, well, that's not really known. That's because they don't have a vaccine.
Has Russia ever told the truth about anything? That's probably not even their real name.
Never even thought about that. Russia's really known as, I don't know, Rocktud.
It's probably not even their real name. They've never told the truth about anything ever. When they're really poor, they tell us they're rich. When they're really rich, they tell us they're poor and can't help. When they don't ever invent any. Look at Chernobyl. That's what they invented. They built it on a shitty fucking 50s scrap metal and burned the fucking place down in 30 years. They just lie. They're a lying nation, and I like Russian people. I've never met a Russian guy I didn't like, but they all lie all the time, every one of them. About
keep in
everything.
mind, just to give an idea, this is the same country where Andrei Chikhalov, Chikalato. I don't know how to pronounce his fucking name. The Russian serial killer, Russia's first serial killer, roamed free from 1978 to 1990 and did every horrible act you can do to another human being. He did all of them.
Yeah, but so did the KGB. So did in Russia, that's just like a drinking game. It's called do the worst shit possible to each other.
They knew this was going on. They knew it was happening. They knew there was a serial killer. They knew who he was targeting. They knew everything, but said nothing to the public and just announced to the world, we don't have serial killers.
Yeah, the Vancouver police did the same thing for 10 years. That's not exclusive to Russians.
No, but they started it.
Vancouver police had him in custody, bleeding from the bullet from the victim that shot him and got away. And they said no.
No, not him.
Not Willie.
Well, he's a good guy. It's not him.
Russia could learn a thing or two about lying from the fucking VPD. Sorry, Gord's mom. Hi, Gord's mom. I don't talk to you much anymore on the show. Never have, really. But I would just say hi. Hi, your boy's pretty cool. I like him.
Trust me when I say she does not listen to the show.
Now, I got to break it to you, Gord's mom. Russia's... Don't bust out the champagne just yet.
Yeah.
Probably Russia doesn't have a vaccine, is what I'm saying. And if they do, they're not sharing it. And it'll be
It's going to kill more people than COVID ever did.
It's probably just tear gas runoff from Portland in a bottle, I'm assuming.
And the tears of children.
It's children's tears mixed with Portland tear gas. And run through Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. I don't know. It would be awesome if I'm wrong. I certainly would love to be wrong about this one. And it turns out they do have one and it works great and we're all fine and we get back to normal. I don't get that vibe from Russia ever.
No, not at all.
They killed Apollo Creed, for fuck's sakes. Like, what more do you need?
Oh, exactly. That pretty much says everything there. Yeah. So the last thing I have...
For those of you who are confused, that was a movie. That's not... It doesn't really matter. Russians are liars. That's what I'm saying. Not the people of Russia. Most of them I don't know. No. I can't say. It's the leaders of Russia, the people running Russia. Yeah. Putin and his army of... I don't know.
Putinites.
Putinites. Putineers?
Putineers. It's so funny.
I don't know what you
Putineers. Fuck it. We're using Putineers.
The junior Putins of America or whatever. I don't know. They're liars. They're the people lying, not the Russian people. When I say Russians are lying, I mean the leaders. When I say Chinese are deceitful, evil people, I mean the leaders. I don't mean Chinese. Like most Chinese people I've met are delightful, but the people running that country are communist, fucking terrorist weirdos.
Yes.
So don't say I don't mean I generalize when I speak, because when I don't, this 2-hour show would be my intro.
And besides, if anybody were to take that when we say Russia lies, if anybody takes that to meaning the people, you are a problem.
And
understand
you're probably lying.
Exactly. You didn't do the math.
If you disagree with me, you're probably lying.
It's the way it is with all of it. So the last thing I have is just a very weird little story. Going over to Paraguay, there is this lagoon called the... Yes?
I don't get it. Never mind. Never mind. I was just wondering, like, if there was ever like one Guay, but because there's not two Guays there, but they still call it a Paraguay. I don't get it.
Yeah, I never thought to ask that question because I'm just not that retarded, I guess. There's a city called Limpio. Limpio. Fuck it, it's Limpio. And there's this lagoon called the Cerro Lagoon.
I thought that was
Now,
the Limpio Lagoon. You got me all confused.
No, it's the Cerro Lagoon located near the city of Limpio.
I had that backwards.
It's about 10 miles from the capital Paraguay, and I'm not even going to attempt to fuck up that name because nope, not going to do it. It's got an accent in it. Not going to happen. So here's the interesting thing about this. First of all, a few years ago, they split this lagoon in two. A few months ago,
and then they called it the Para Lagoon.
No,
that's why
they didn't. It's still known as the Cerro Lagoon. They just split it in two.
Okay.
So they could create an embankment to. It was built to connect some local factories. Okay, so basically split this lagoon in two. 3 months after they split this lagoon, the one side of the lagoon is perfectly fine. Clear water, everything's fresh, everything's good. On the other side, all of the fish died, and as well as any bird that landed in it, all the birds died.
Yeah, that's where Putin stores his COVID vaccine, by the way.
Yeah, well, and it did turn a reddish color, and people are just like, well, this is really weird. And then all of a sudden, the red has now evolved into a bright purple. All right, so now this water is this very unusual bright purple color, and they're like, well, this is just fucking weird. Why is this purple? Well, they found out that it's because there's a tannery that is basically just pumping their fucking leftover untreated water and stuff right into this lagoon, and the chemicals in it have turned it from red now to purple.
That's not interesting at all. That's just what other countries do.
What's interesting is the color, because this is the first time they've ever seen water turn purple from a chemical reaction. They've seen pink, they've seen yellow, they've seen red, but they've never seen purple. This is the first time they've seen that.
That's what happens when you make cartoons of Mohammed. That's the effect of that.
And that's what
you
happened.
Fucking whiners in Portland. You're worried about the tear gas running in. Oh, my ears might get irritated if I go swimming. Look what these fuckers have to deal with. Their water's turned fucking toxic purple. I thought it was something interesting, and it's not. It's just another prick going to a small country and polluting the fuck out of it.
Yep.
Because that's what we do to other countries. But you're worried about I might get the sniffles if I swim too close to this tear gas runoff. These guys everything's dead in their purple weird lagoon.
Then to keep that on, to give an idea about some of the shit that's gone on around the world for when it comes to this water. In 2016, in Manila, in the Philippines, their Pasag River became so loaded with pollutants that local artists were using the pigments to make paintings because it was such an unusual color. The artists are hilarious,
and they were swimming and drinking it, so that's weird.
Probably, yeah. They said that. They said although all the pigments were decontaminated, the smell of the sludge was still present, which made it a real challenge for artists.
Hey, do you want to come to my showing at the gallery? Fuck no. Not until masks are mandatory. It smells like toxic shit.
There's the Yellow River in China, which got its name from the nutritious sediments. Well, that's what it's called. It's named that because it was yellow. The water was actually yellow, but it ended up turning an off-white cloudy soup river for a while because the water became that because the stones, basically the sediments in it became so bad that it started turning everything white.
That is where every Japanese restaurant gets miso soup from.
That's right. I love miso soup.
It tastes like what you just described, in my opinion.
Oh, I love it so much. It's fantastic.
Hate it.
It's the only time I will ever have anything that has soy in it, and it is just spectacular.
I cannot stand miso soup.